Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
This just happened. You're not going to believe it. So I'm sitting in my office doing work today, and my receptionist buzzes me and says, there's somebody that watches your podcast, and they would like to talk to you about Chris Watts. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm game. I always try to listen to people. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. So the woman, who simply identified herself as Irene, went on to state that although Chris Watts has been sentenced now since November of 2018, so a little over 3 years and a couple of months, that she thought I was being unfair to him. The woman, who simply identified herself as Irene, went on to state that although Chris Watts has been sentenced now since November of 2018, so a little over 3 years and a couple of months, that she thought I was being unfair to him. I tried to explain that Chris Watts pled guilty. She would have nothing to do with it. She stated that he was framed, that he was taking the fall for other individuals, and she let me know that there were millions of people out there that believed exactly the way she did.
Say what?
And she let me know that there were millions of people out there that believed exactly the way she did.
I believe Chris had help, and so did many millions of others. I believe Chris had help, and so did many millions of others.
See me as an evangelist preacher preaching to a flock.
Tried to explain to her that I think that she was wrong in her analysis, given the fact that Chris Watts has confessed repeatedly that he had in fact killed Shanann, his wife, and his 2 lovely daughters and his unborn child. Once again, Irene let me know rather loudly that I was wrong, that I was being unfair, and that I didn't deserve to be able to comment on the Chris Watts video, and that there were other people out there that were seeking the truth and that I wasn't.
So when I say these things, I'm not making up a stupid conspiracy.
Hey, I know Chris Watts has been a long time ago. I thought Chris Watts' story was over, finished, done, but yet it keeps coming back. And just so I know that I'm not crazy, take a look at the links below where all of the interviews that took place with Chris Watts. You can watch him for yourself. I directed this very nice lady to the links so she could watch the videos for herself. She wanted nothing to do with the truth.
That is disgusting. Scumbags.
My conspiracy theory is that Chris Watt said help. End of. That's it. You're living off this case only. And it's 3 years old.
I feel sick now. That's the truth of it.
I believe Chris said help. And so do many millions of others.
So many millions of others believe Chris Watts had help. What's up, guys? How you doing? Friday night? You know, I realized I wasn't planning on going live at all tonight. I didn't even think about it, but I saw when I got home, I saw Lizzie had dropped the link to Super Chuffer. He was on his, I guess, battery exhausted channel, and I was only in there for a short time, but holy shit, did I ever have a lot of fun. I mean, as much fun as you can have when you're calling out a pervy fraud, but I thought he was actually ending his stream because I'd seen he was live actually for a couple hours, and I saw people were saying goodnight, goodbye, so I'm like, oh, he's ending his stream, so I'll start one, but I guess he's still going, so I apologize, Scott. Wasn't trying to hone in or take over anything from you, but I thought, kind of impromptu, just to welcome back, because he loves it when Jenetic Code is streaming me live. So I thought we would go on a illegal field trip over to Armchair Detective and see what his 50 billionth umpteenth blow your socks off breaking news is tonight. Well, we know he's had a week off due to continuing to stream blocked copyright content and a community guideline strike. So he's had a week to put his story together properly. So I hope, we'll see if this is in the cards for me tonight. I know I was dropping in and out. Oh, I shouldn't jinx it by saying anything. I was dropping in and off with Lizzie the other night. So if I do drop off and all of a sudden the stream ends before I get back, that's simply because StreamYard, if there's nobody on a panel and nothing going on, by default, it'll shut the stream down. I think it's 5 minutes. So don't worry. I haven't been silenced. I haven't been kidnapped. Nothing's happened to me. I just haven't made it back in time. So if it's meant to be, we'll be able to do it. If not, then, oh well, we can say we gave it a flippin' try. So hang on. I'll pull a few things up. How you doing? Bevy Green's in the house. Good to see all you guys. Last minute. Hippie chick, you made it. My Kimberly Faith is here. Lady Witch, London Girl, Roberta Armour. I saw Lizzie too. Wiki Moon. Anybody else that I'm not showing up or is not showing up in participants I'm missing? Or I could just maybe be rude like that. You know, I'm a bitch and all, so.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I can tell I'm going to lose my voice. That was the other thing. I didn't have much of a voice left after the other night with Lizzie, and I kind of forgot. Like, oh yeah, let's stream them live. And I'm like, fuck, I don't even have much of a voice. So you can listen to the raspy Jen tonight. Some of you might enjoy the break because I won't be quite as loud as usual. Hey, Vicky, how are you? Sunray on her sexy leg. All right, what was I doing? Can you tell I'm prepared? Oh, yeah. All right, so give me a second while I'm loading up Alan's stream. Why don't we just give everybody a little reminder for those that may not have seen this yet?
Oh, my nose good, look. God, I'm really clean, aren't I? I just thought of that. These hands have never done a day's work, have they? Look. Not really, have they? I just thought of that. These hands have never done a day's work, have they? Look. These hands have never done a day's work, have they? Look.
These hands have never done a day's work, have they? Look.
I'm being creative. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have some work to do.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage? Sausages, sausages.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Never in my life did I think that I would ever take a clip from Tom Green's Freddie Got Fingered and be able to so appropriately use it. Never. Not in any way, shape, or form. But, well, you know, clearly stranger things have happened, and it was suited for you, Alan. So did you have a nice vacation, Alan? I know you can't hear me right now. You looked a little upset there when I just went to go get your stream ready. I see you have your fake ass quack insider's friend Jen Lau on panel with you, but you looked a little cranky. So is everybody letting you know that Jenetic Code is streaming you live or is going to be? Well, damn, I wish you hadn't gotten heads up until after I was streaming you. But I guess what can we do? This is in the house. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about Super Chuffer, Revy? Or I'm going to call him Super Chuffer because I think that is the greatest, most fantastic fucking name ever. I realize, I guess he seems to do his calling out of the pervy fraud on his Battery Exhausted channel. I've watched a few of his videos. I've never talked to him or anything, or actually been in any of his live chats until, about an hour ago. But his art grifter video that he did last week, I wanted to actually upload that, but it was too long. StreamYard only allows, I think it's a up to 10-minute duration video, and that one's 17 minutes. But if you do go to his Battery Exhausted channel, you'll be able to see it there. Hang on, let me clean up. There we go. All right. So, guys, get yourself together, get your drinks, get whatever you might smoke, snack on, and it is that time. It is that time.
Right this minute, there's a channel called Jenetic Code streaming me live, which is against YouTube rules. You're not allowed to stream somebody live. I could easily report it. I can't be bothered.
Some people call it nonsense. Some call it lies. But because it appears in many different forms, I will call it bullshit.
You could, if I was a weak person, I would end it. If I was a weak person, Jenetic Code, your efforts would work. But they're not going to work because I'm a strong person. And I'll tell you why later. I am a human being. Jenetic Code, streaming me live. We've just told you what you're doing is wrong. Why don't you just stop it? No one cares. No one loves your videos.
Don't cry out loud. Just keep it inside. Learn how to hide your feelings.
No loves my video. And you know damn well, Alan, it is not against YouTube rules to stream you live. I know you would like everybody to think that, but I remember a couple years back, and he said it a few times, that it was also against YouTube rules if a creator made more than 6 videos calling out another creator. Everything Alan doesn't like is motherfucking illegal. So, god damn. Yes, that painting, Sunray. Yes. Hang on, actually, before. Un momento. Before we actually pull them up, get ready, Alan. We're coming. The illegal school trip bus is on its way, because you love it when Genetic Code is streaming me live. I'm just going to pull something up to show you. So, Sunray knows how much I love her and how much I love her sense of humor even more. So I've taken it upon myself when she makes her creations and makes Alan's what he likes to call art actually palatable. I have to share them. Because we know Alan doesn't watch other creators. He doesn't watch hate channels. He doesn't watch trolls. We know damn fucking well he does. What was it he said about the oh my god, one of the first ones you did there, Sunray? Oh yeah, one of my haters, pretending it doesn't bother him that we're taking the piss out of him for his shitty artwork. I don't even want to say artwork, his shitty so-called art. What was it he said? Well, one of my haters, Mr. Bean one, that's what it was. Anyways, him, which really from him was a compliment. All of a sudden I went from a troll and a hater to I'm fun every now and again. Don't ever say that again, Alan. No, don't put my name and the word I'm fun every now and again in the same sentence, please. Yes, the little bit I have listened to him, it's true. It's really true. He's I don't know what assistance he wants from TJ and I mean, other than I guess the full background, but he's doing a fantastic job on his own. And it's what is really nice to see is that, I mean, he's a much bigger channel than what probably myself, TJ, all of us combined. So it's actually really nice to see somebody with a fucking awesome sense of humor like we have, finally like calling Alan out. So putting out the word. So I think your YouTube days the walls are starting to close in on you, Alan. So you better enjoy it while you can. Too bad you weren't able to get any super chats from Nancy the last week, eh? Yay, I'm so glad he didn't take any chances. Like I said in Lizzie's No Hate group today, I mean, I know ultimately we would all love to see him permanently taken off YouTube, but at the very least, I think we did have a small victory for him staying off for a full week. He wasn't able to make any money. He wasn't able to gain any new members. He wasn't able to have begathons and Patreon, because I think he knew if I mean, we know he's a gambling man, but I think he knew if he took his chances, he could get nailed for circumvention. And for once, he actually made a wise decision. But I still say it's a small victory for us regardless. Hang on. Now we're going to put that. Crap. Did I even save it? Yeah, I'm talking to myself. Oh, damn it, Janet. All right, I'll pull it up, I guess, after. Oh, I just, here we go. Actually, why don't we just do this? I'm just going to share my flipping screen. So this is totally not, I can't take credit for this as much. I didn't even realize that he's pumping them out as fast as he's posting them. Well, whoever's doing them is pumping them out as fast as he's posting them. So I hadn't seen this one yet before I saw Sunray's rendition of it. Hold on here. Oh, stream screen or change some things around. Smoking. So for those that aren't quite sure, okay, make it a little smaller, Jen. It doesn't need to take up the entire fucking screen. So for those of you that may not be aware what the fuck we're referencing, let me give you a hint. Does that clear it all up for you? All right. All right, kids. No more messing around. It is time. It is time. For those that missed the first bus, we didn't get off yet. We'll come back around and get you. Oh, yeah. Jenetic code streaming me live. Look, it's Jen Lowe, everybody. It's fake ass quack Dr. B's best friend. All right, let me make that a little smaller. All right, here we go. Close that. I hope you guys, I'm assuming you can hear me all right. You're a little under the influence, Lady Witch? Well, that's going to make the whole experience that much more enjoyable. So, really, Oliver's in the house. Okay, so I'm going to have to close my comments. And let's see what he's up to with this. See, that was where I stopped him. He didn't look too pleased, eh? All right, here we go.
And there's rules and stuff, and I wasn't sure I understood all of the rules, and I just wanted to be extra careful. So I just stream from Law and Crime, and they can move the WebEx window around, so they are able to like zoom in on Leticia. It's not a real clear picture of her because it's still WebEx, but it's better than like nothing, you know.
I'm scared of that law and crime. They strike people, don't they? I'm scared stiff to use their stuff.
They're really cool. I've knock on wood, I've never been struck, but I think the trick is this. You can stream their trial, but you have to pause for commentary, and you cannot have anything covering their logo.
And that right there, Alan, you can stream, even though I guess they're talking about the Leticia Stock trial, just to negate what you had said that it's against YouTube to stream you live. That's exactly why it is not against the rules of YouTube to stream you live, as long as you pause it and provide commentary, criticism, research, news reporting. What else is there? Caricature, parody, all the stuff I do with you. That's why every time you tried to strike down myself when I've been live, strike down my video, well, I guess it would just be lives, you failed, Alan, because it's not against YouTube rules. Just saying.
Their watermark on their thing, and then they're cool about it.
Oh, that's brilliant. I have to remember that. I got a strike last week for doing a copyrighted material. I was banned for a week, Jen. I couldn't speak, muzzled for a whole week.
Oh my gosh, who did that? How dare they?
Okay, well, these people here, mostly British people who follow the Nicola Bully case. I don't know if you're aware of that case.
I'm a little bit aware, but I didn't follow it that closely because there's so many other ones going on that my brain, it can't handle all of it all the time. It's too many details to keep up with.
That's okay, Jen Lau. You don't need to remember the details or keep up with them because he changes them on the fly. You were muzzled for a week. As far as I'm concerned, you weren't goddamn muzzled long enough. Aussie Life is in the house. What is up? It is lovely, lovely to see you. Who's Jen Lau, Oliver? Well, I'm a Jen. It's Dr. B's best buddy, fake ass quack. I mean, I don't know Jen Lau, but I will tell you right now, I would take Jen Lau over Dr. B any fucking day. She's actually can be humorous. I just, the only thing that I dislike about her is the fact that she's best buddies and aligned with Dr. B. But yeah, she's been on panel with Dr. B with Alan before a few times. Oh, I'm so excited you're here, Aussie Live. What a lovely surprise. See, guys, this is what happens when you do stuff off the cuff and on the fly impromptu. Other surprises happen. All right, let's go back to Jenetic Code is streaming me live. He doesn't look very happy. What's the matter, Alan? What's wrong? You're probably pissed off that Super Chuffer is streaming and talking about you. I don't know who else might be. We've been coming at you. And by the way, Alan, you're so silly. I didn't watch much more than about the first 10 minutes of last night's. Like, obviously, he was dying to get online because he couldn't even wait till tonight. He literally probably harassed YouTube all day, wanting to know what time he would be able to have privileges back. And he had to do a stream last night. But I noticed one of the first things he said was that while he was off for a week, people were inundating him with all the trolls and haters were going really hard at him. No different than what we've been doing all along, Alan. And so he makes a point of letting us know about all the emails that he got, but he's not going to talk about the haters and trolls and give us any air. Then why would you even bring it up, period? Because you're looking for sympathy because you lost out making any money for a week. Doo-da, doo-da.
It's too hard.
Oh, look at this person here. Look, you got the pronunciation, please. Psychiatric, not psychedelic. I know, psychiatric. That's what I said. Bloody hell. I mean, watch my show, and if that's the best they can do, thanks a lot. Yeah. Okay, so as we don't, I'm not talking Nickel now. This is all about Stouch and
Stout.
Stouch. Again, pronunciation. I'm not good at pronunciation because of my dyslexia.
It's a hard last name. It's Stout.
Stout. Is it like German?
Everything is either legal or because of his fucking dyslexia. I think it's more because you're drunk. Wrong D. Dyslexia. Don't forget, guys, the whole reason that he sees things in his mind to him is not his imagination. It's his dyslexia. Why, the only thing we can do at this point is really kind of laugh at him. Hey, Mr. Shannonite, even though, I mean, it's so angering. Peekaboo! Well, at least it's only been once I've dropped. Damn it, Janet. All right, I got to pull him up again. Did you miss me while I was gone? Did you miss me? I know Alan didn't. All right, let's give this a go again. Alan, stop trying to silence me, damn it. It's not illegal to stream you live. I don't know where I got caught or kicked off, but everything he doesn't like is either illegal or is the cause of his dyslexia. But he can't even man up. And, somebody points out that he's mispronounced the simplest thing. And he's like, no, I didn't. And he's just, that's a big part of your overall problem, Alan. Free speech for everybody but Alan, when actually it's free speech for only Alan and nobody else, unless you agree with everything he says. No, I bet you haven't missed that ugly face either, Aussie Life. All right, I'm just going to pull him back up here. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to stop the screen. I meant to share it. Yeah, it's funny. It would not ha-ha funny, but Aussie Life, the more things change with him, the more the exact same they stay. All right.
I don't know if it's German or not. I just know it's pronounced Stauk.
I like you to say in your own words, briefly outline the story, because these guys know nothing about it, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Alan,
so back at the end of January of 2020, Leticia Stout called 911 to report her 11-year-old stepson as having not returned from his friend's house where he went to go play his Nintendo Switch. Now, Gannon had stayed home that day, according to Leticia, with a stomach ache. And also she says that Gannon accidentally knocked over a candle in the basement. And in the basement, it was a finished basement. And it had like a little living room, and then Gannon's bedroom and Leticia's 17-year-old daughter, Harley. Okay. That was who was in the bedroom. So she calls 911. It's all classified initially as a potential runaway, right? But then it's January. It's cold in Colorado in January. And so then it ended up getting upgraded to missing. And essentially, Leticia, over the course of between the 27th, 8th, and 29th, and all the way up until her arrest in March, March 20th of 2020, she led police on a wild goose chase. First, she said that she hired somebody to repair the carpet that Gannon had spilt the candle wax on, named Eduardo, and she gave him the garage door opener key and code, and he came in the garage and he ended up essaying her, and he took Gannon.
Oh, he looks right friggin' irritated as hell. Absolutely. I think it was Roberta Armour. You just said something about he looks interested. Look at how interested he looks at when other people are talking all the fucking time. You know it. We all know it. Anytime he has somebody on his panel talking, this is part of why it's so funny that you say you used to be an actor, Alan, because you can't act. You can't even pretend to look interested. Your poker face sucks. This is why you're not a poker star, a poker star to the celebrities, and probably why you're not a billionaire poker player, because your poker face sucks. He is irritated as fuck. I love it. I absolutely love it. He's got too much shit going on. People in his chat. How has he got in his chat here? Let me take a look. Super might still be live, so he knows he did a stream at least about him. He's got almost 500 in his chat. I'm sure he knows that Jenetic Code is streaming him live. He can't, and looking at his chat, looking out for super chats, he doesn't have enough eyes to do everything at once. Absolutely, he does suck at everything. Jack of all trades and master of none.
And it was Quincy Brown did this. Quincy Brown took him, and she wanted immunity, and it was just all a mess. Well, Fast forward to March 17th. No, that's not true. Hold on a second. Leticia was arrested before Gannon's body was found. So I know his body was found March 20th. So she must have been arrested February 20th, something like that, somewhere in there. She was arrested before his body was found. But anyway, on the week of March 17th, these got workers in Florida were doing bridge inspections, their annual bridge inspections, or however often they do it. And when they were doing it, one of the pieces of equipment they used caught this suitcase. And the reason the suitcase stood out to them is because it was sort of laying on its corner. It was in a very odd position. So after they finish up their work at the bridge, they go down there to inspect it. And what they found was ghastly, and it was little Gannon Stout in that suitcase. He was wrapped up with the blanket, and he was, in the clothes that he had been wearing. So by this point, Leticia has already been arrested. They have, on her way to being extradited from South Carolina back to Colorado,
He's like not even just right looking at his phone. He's checked. He's checked right the fuck out. Oh, why are you so irritated? Who said agitated? Pay attention. He's not paying attention to anything but whatever's on his phone. Hi, Mike Shaw. That's so funny. Oh, irritated and agitated. Oh, poor little Muffin all upset because everybody's picking on him. Too fucking bad. You brought it all on yourself, you pervy fraud.
He assaulted one of the officers who was transporting her. And so she's facing charges for that, and that'll happen after this trial. But currently she's on trial for the first degree murder of her son or her stepson. And she has pled not guilty by reason of insanity, which is an interesting plea. And it's interesting the way she entered it, because in the very beginning, she wanted to represent herself and then thought better of it. And so, according to opening statements, her team has hired this psychiatrist. Her name is Dr. Lewis. She has a documentary that she's featured in on HBO Max, and I think you can see it on YouTube also. It's called Crazy Not Insane. And she has diagnosed Leticia with dissociative identity disorder, and says that she was legally insane at the time of the crime. And
did we neglect to mention to you, Alan, there is going to be a quiz after Jen Lau is done explaining this story? Could you please, Jen Lau, explain to everybody, because they don't all know about the Leticia Stodge case. And no, you don't know a thing about the case, because that's why you have everybody else tell the stories. You don't know a damn thing. What's up, Adam67? Grab a seat. We're streaming the Pervy Fraud live. He is not a happy camper tonight. I thought maybe one of you guys can fill me in, because I haven't been around at all today, but wasn't last night's show he was going to continue on? He had breaking blow your socks off news that he was going to be doing tonight. What happened? Did it all fall apart? Because I mean, this clearly is not even Nicola Bully related. Elwood's in the house. So what's going on, Alan? Is this why you're irritated and agitated? Did something happen that is preventing you from talking about it? God, that would be lovely. Probably not, but I don't know. Let's have some fun and let's place our bets as to why he's goddamn irritated and agitated tonight. Hi, my lovely Larnie. Candy for you too. Everybody's rolling on in. I just bouncing in and out? Better than the other night. Another week or so and all this nonsense will be over. Well, I'm talking about me getting kicked off my own stream. All right. I'm just keeping you guys all on your toes, making sure you guys are at least paying attention.
And in Colorado, it's a little bit different than in other states. So in Colorado, the burden of proof is on the state to prove that she was sane, and that's what they're doing. So we're on. Today is day 8 of her trial, and it's intended to be a 8-week trial, I believe, and they don't have court on Thursdays. So that's pretty much the sum of it.
Right. But he, I mean, like, we know he went through. I mean, like, we can't even say what happened to him, can we? It was awful, wasn't it? I read the affidavit. I mean, what happened to him? He fought for his little life, didn't he?
He did, yes, he did. He
Poor
did.
little man. And why is she putting us through this trial? His poor mother's there, and that. Why is she trying to get off with being mentally unstable? She wants to be. Is that what she's trying to get?
Yeah, she wants them to find her not guilty by reason of insanity because it's an interesting plea because you're actually saying that you committed the crime, right? But what you're saying is that you were not sane under the law, which means that you should go to a mental hospital rather than prison. So that's really what the jury is deciding here. Where will she go?
So her dream is to get into a mental home and then feign she's better in about 20 years' time and get out with some life.
Not even 20 years, AD. She can apply for release every single year.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What the hell? Man, I should pull up his chat. Give me a second, guys. He seems very focused on his chat because I don't think he's got me streaming live on that monitor in front of him. Yet he absolutely had no friggin' idea anything that she just said at all. Not a single fucking word. At least you have your Dame Edna old lady glasses on. You look very pretty, Alan. Hang on. All right, let's do this for a minute.
So if theoretically, if the jury were to find her not guilty by reason of insanity, she would potentially put Al Stout and which is Gannon's biological father, and Landon, who is Gannon's biological mother, through years and years and years and years and years, unending.
So
they'd have to go and talk and say they don't want her to be released. You know what I mean?
But surely all the planning and the getting rid of the body and the lies doesn't mean she's crazy. It means she's forward planning, not crazy. Or what?
Yeah, see, that's the part I didn't understand, AD, because, like, I'm from Texas.
Is Nuff still here? If you are, did you want to come up with me, Nuff? I don't, no pressure if you don't, but I was just thinking if you wanted to come up when I do bounce off, that way there's just absolutely nothing up here on panel. And I mean, you're a very entertaining lass. No pressure, but if you'd like to, let me know. Another maybe 30 minutes, and that little time duration of the day where I get kicked off will be over. And as soon as I finish my stream, of course, it'll be completely done. I know, and I haven't noticed myself, well, I haven't been home, but earlier this morning I wasn't dropping. Kind of one of those things. I do need a backup partner. Any takers? Who wants to be my backup partner today? Highest bidder wins. Excuse me, I'm just going to mute for a sec so I can call. Oh, well, don't you all fucking offer at once now. No, SM, I have not, but maybe that's what I'll do next time. That'll be my next troubleshooting method. I hope you guys all enjoy laughing at my Canadian milk bags, because I know you guys are all just motherfucking jealous. You're all jealous. Okay, well, you can try enough. Hold on a sec. I guess oh, crap. Oh, there it is. I need the StreamYard link. No, actually, you need the... That must be... So I saw somebody said before I got kicked off there that because when I went into Super Chuffer's chat, I guess he'd already been live for over 2 hours. So I haven't seen the first 2 hours of it. So it sounds like those 2 hours got him really pissed off. Oh, too bad. It couldn't have happened to a more pervy fraud, grifting fraud. There's the StreamYard link now. Well, that's good. That's always good to set a nice agitated, irritated tone for him before a stream. I wonder if that has anything to do with why he's not giving everybody his blow your socks off breaking news that he was like frothing at the teeth about last night and so excited to show. But none of us like AD. And by the way, Alan, I know you always say that I hate you. I have never, ever once said I hate you. I hate what you do. I probably wouldn't, well, I know I wouldn't like you in real life, but let's be clear here. I have never, ever, ever said I hate you. I don't hate, dear. I'm Canadian. You know that. But it's all about making the pity and making yourself look, poor me, I'm picked on. Nuff's in the house. Hi, darling. Hello? Can you guys still hear me? It's not me, right? Let me see here. Oh, she's in the forest. So I just realized I'm like, well, it doesn't say Nuff. Did I just bring somebody on that I have no idea? But she between Nuff and myself, we look pretty fucking sad.
I'm in a forest.
Oh, she's here. We can kind of hear you.
I don't know whether you can hear me, but I'm in a forest.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Miles away from
Oh, it's not working enough. You're in the middle of the forest. I forgot you do this at this time of year. So I appreciate you wanting to try and help me out. She's gone. Jesus Christ. What kind of friggin' troll and hater channels are we? We can't get our fucking shit together. Alan, are you watching me watching you? Watching me watching you. Well, thank you, Nuff. I really do appreciate you trying. God love you. Once you're back out of the forest, enjoying the quiet life, let me know, because I'd love to do a stream with you. It's been a very long time. You guys can always hear me. I'm gonna have no voice by the time this is over. All right, well, let's get back to business then. Special brownies. I can't eat that stuff. I only smoke it, Sharon. I eat and it just paralyzes my body and I don't move. Okay, you want to try again? Sure. Absolutely. Let's give it another go. Maybe the forest will have gotten better internet service in this time. Have you ever seen? It must be something to do with the name Jennifer. Making ourselves look like right fools. That's okay. It's fun. It's the weekend. It's probably pissing out. I'm here, then I'm not here, then I'm here, then I'm not here. And take two. Well, you look very pretty. Your avatar is pretty. It looks like a dead deer. I can't hear you at all. Not a single solitary word. That's the kind of sound I'm sure Alan would love to have for me. You're more than welcome to stay up here for visual aesthetic effects. You look lovely. And I don't have you muted, in case you're wondering. They're trying to silence you. They've silenced my Nuff Nuff. What is going on, Alan? You send your goons to silence her. It does put me in a coma. That's why I don't like them. Because it's like, I've eaten edibles a couple times and they did the exact same thing to me. They were gummy bears. I'd eat a little bit of the head, nothing. Eat a little bit more, nothing. Little bit more. Never ate more than one. Next thing I know, it's the next morning and my body feels like shit. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and play him. Nuff Nuff knows too much. Exactly. She's officially been silenced. I'm not going to kick you off. As I said, you're more than welcome to stay up here. It's too bad. We could send smoke signals or secret coded messages to each other. There's always that option. All right, I'm going to press play while Nuff continues to look pretty in silence. I think Alan wants to silence me next. Nuff Nuff knows too much. Nuff Nuff knows too much.
You know, avoid being captured. Bless his heart, he was shot once. Well, shot at 3 times, hit once, and they never found any shell casings. The way that they found the blood was they used Blue Star to illuminate it because she'd cleaned it all up. She drove.
It doesn't seem crazy to me. It's like
She doesn't seem crazy. Listen, I'll say this. Do I think that Leticia Stout has some type of mental health issue? Yeah, I do. And she's probably got a personality disorder. She's probably a cluster B personality. But I do not think that she was, first of all, I don't think she has dissociative identity disorder. And I do not think that she was insane at the time of the crime. And that's another thing I don't understand either. So I was always, until court started, I was always under the impression that the blunt force trauma to the head, I always thought that came first, but it didn't. Apparently, what came first is the sharp force injuries and the medical, and that the blunt force trauma to his head was so significant that he probably wouldn't have been able to defend himself. And then what she can't say is which came next. Was it the blunt force trauma or was it the GSW? But the thing about the insanity defense is that you have to prove that the person was insane at the time of the crime. But this crime took place over like several hours after the other. There was like time in between. So, and in between those times, she interacted with other people. She went to Petco, for Pete's sake, twice. and
Well,
interacted with people.
After she started the murdering, she took him out somewhere, didn't she? Alive.
Yeah, she took him to Petco twice and interacted with people, and nobody noticed, that she was in the midst of a psychotic break. She was fine to drive, like nothing was, she didn't, run any red lights or any.
Oh my God, arms folded, grinding his fucking teeth. He is furious. I love it. Guys, want to place any bets? He's so flipping furious and not amused. He's going to end his stream probably sooner than later. Join Patreon now.
Anything like that. So I just don't. I listened to all of the picking of the jury, right? And I will say this: I don't think that. Do I think that the jurors are going to listen intently to Dr. Lewis and hear what she has to say? Of course they are, because that's what they said they would do. But I do not think that any of them are going to buy the not guilty by reason of insanity. I just don't. They had a problem with it during jury selection. A lot of people were dismissed because they couldn't. They wouldn't even hear it. They said it was an excuse.
Most of them know the story, don't they? That's a big problem for her, isn't it?
Well, actually, not so much. When I listened to the jury deliberations, not that many people had actually heard about this story. I always find that interesting because it's like we know every single thing about a certain crime, true crime cases, but like local people don't know anything about it. And I always find that interesting, but they didn't. It was their main hang up was this not guilty by reason of insanity plea. They just don't buy it. And even in the opening statements with the defense, he was like, bless it, he came up there like almost defeated. He's like, just hear us out, just give us a chance, basically was his opening statement. So yeah, they tried.
Right.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
How did a daughter not seem to know what was going on?
Okay, so
nice face, Alan. He does. He looks irritated, agitated, angry, and annoyed, all wrapped up to uncomfortable, all at once at the sausage finger clench. Guys, you shouldn't laugh so hard at him. It's really not very nice. I can't even say that with a straight face. You know what? Speaking of his shitty, craptastic art, Sunray would really like you to paint a secret coded messages in the sunflowers creation just for her, Alan. She's far too shy to email you and ask you, so I'm going to go out on a limb and do it for her. Would you like me to shoot you an email, Alan, so you remember to do it? Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. Welcome. Can you just let me know? I mean, it's perfectly fine if you want to get Nosy Nana to let me know. She's always poking around under my stuff, so I have no problem speaking with her. But Sunray really would like that. The secret coded messages in the sunflower painting. Personalized. I wonder how much longer he's going to go. He is so ugly. Poor thing.
To be fair, I don't actually know what Harley knew or didn't know, or when she knew it, or you know what I'm saying? Because Harley hasn't. I've not heard anything from Harley about this case. Do you know what I mean? She is on the witness list. I am very, very curious about what she will testify to. But I want people to keep in mind with respect to Harley. A lot of people thought that perhaps Harley got a deal. Okay. They don't need Harley. The state of Colorado does not need Harley's testimony. She's not the linchpin. She's not what's going to get Leticia convicted. They have plenty of evidence if Harley never took the stand. So there would be no reason for them to cut her a deal. That doesn't mean I don't know what she did until I hear from her, but I will say this. I don't think that there is any, I don't believe the state of Colorado would would give her some type of immunity. If she helped, I think it's likely that she did it unwittingly. And if anybody's watching the trial and listening to the audio recordings of Leticia, she is highly manipulative. And look what she was able to do to Gannon, and she'd only known him for 6 years. She raised Harley almost by herself. Harley's father passed away when she was very young. So can you imagine the amount of, manipulation and such stuff that she inflicted on Harley? I just don't know how I feel about Harley until I hear what she has to say.
Is there no remorse in this woman at all? No remorse.
Really? That of your fucking goddamn claptrap? No remorse? Really, Alan? Who the fuck are you to talk about having no remorse? Clearly, you have no moral character, you have no conscience, and you definitely have no remorse because you wouldn't be continuing to do what you've been doing for 5 fucking years. How fucking dare you? You have no remorse, but you also pretend to be an empath too. So I guess I really shouldn't be surprised. But do you not see the irony of how ridiculous you sound when you say stuff like this? But I am going to say, Jen Lau, I appreciate your information on the Leticia Stouch case because I'm telling you right now, that is the most truth that has ever been said on his channel. Factual information that's ever been said on his channel. So just so you know, I don't have a problem with you. I just have a problem with who you hang with and the fact that you hang with the pervy fraud too. But I do appreciate and I do like listening to you. So can you get rid of Alan and I'll stick around? No remorse. Let's talk about that, Alan.
None. And I'll tell you something else, AD. It's the weirdest dadgum thing. Okay, so you've seen the movie The Ring, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She totally looks like Samara from The Ring. Okay. So she's sitting over there. Now they have her pretty well boxed in at the defense table. So there's one table and that's where the lawyers sit and it runs horizontal, right? And then she's up against a wall with the other desk in front of her. And she sits over there in the corner. Okay. And it's interesting to watch her about what evidence is being displayed or the testimony as to when she'll perk up. So anytime any of her own words are played, she puts her hair kind of in her face. That's when she really looks like Samara. Although today she brushed and washed her hair, so it didn't have quite the same effect. But then she puts her hands over her ears, right? But when the medical examiner was on, she was very, very keenly watching. And there was a brief moment when Gannon's autopsy pictures were shown to the jury and the audience.
That's a mistake, right?
It was. Well, see, that's the thing. That's why I don't stream WebEx, because they don't move the cameras on WebEx, but Law and Crime can adjust. And they did. It was just real brief. But Leticia smirked. And it's she pays attention to like the crime scene investigators, but anything else she doesn't even pay attention to. It's gross, I have to say.
Terrible.
Now you see me, now you don't. Now you see me, now you don't. Just keeping Alan on his toes. Ooh. Is that actually Jen Lau in her avatar? It looks like Letitia Stouch. I don't think that's not what Jen Lau looks like. Trying to think. I've never, well, I can't think right at this moment if I've actually, she's had avatars. Yes, I've seen what she looks like. I've never once thought that she looks like Letitia Stouch though until that can't be her. It's gonna be like an oil painting of Letitia. There's no way. Yeah, I know. As much as you're trying to shut me down and silence me, and Nuff knows too much, you can't get rid of us. We will always bounce back. Genetic code streaming me live.
I think personally for me, the three people that I think are going to be the most significant in this case are going to be the state's psychiatrist who evaluated her, Harley, her daughter, and Dr. Lewis, who is the defense expert psychiatrist. Those three people are the people that I'm most keen to hear at this point. I don't think that the jury, though, is going to find her not guilty by reason of insanity. And the reason I don't think so is because they're allowed to ask questions. So after both sides have finished their questioning, the judge will ask the jury if they have questions. They're allowed to write the question down on a piece of paper. The bailiff picks it up, hands it to the judge. The judge looks at it, and he will ask the question of the witness, and then based on the question and answer, the prosecution gets a redirect and the defense gets a recross, and it'll, and it'll be opposite once the defense puts their case on in chief. And one of the questions that they asked, which I thought was really profound, was about this suitcase. So about January 31st, Leticia's half-brother and mother and aunt come to Colorado to help to help look for Gannon, but to also, Al ended up asking her to leave, and Harley. Okay, so they show up at Leticia's old residence, and they have a van, and the police are there, and they're taking out Leticia and Harley's belongings. But what I found interesting is that the brother said that everything they took out of the home was checked by law enforcement before it was loaded onto the truck. So at some point, the aunt, who is the one who rented the first truck, says, no, if you're going to go, if she thought she was just going to do a local move. But Leticia's like, no, I want to go back to South Carolina. And so the aunt's like, no, if you want to do that, then you got to rent a different truck. So they did. They met at budget, right? So they're like swapping out the items. And that's when the brother sees the suitcase for the first time. And he said he felt weird about the suitcase because Leticia said she was struggling with it. She wouldn't let him help. And he didn't even see when she put it in there. And she said it was full of softball equipment. And
oh, the timing's off. It looks like it's the I don't know which day, but it's part. He's pulled up part of the Stouch trial, is what he's got up there. That's what it looks like to me. I don't even know why you're bothering to stay on your panel, Alan. Jen Lau has taken care of everything for you and has done the entire stream while you've been a busybody Betty, all fucking annoyed and irritated. But I will say, actually, I am glad you stayed up because it's made it one hell of a lot of fun to laugh at you anyways. Carry on with your bad self.
he knew that was wrong. He just had an uneasy feeling. And then once they recovered little Gannon's body in that suitcase, he knew she did it.
So he was the savior then, in a way. Like, he had a gut feeling, right?
Yeah, but he ignored it. Like, he didn't do anything about it, because then she proceeded to drive that vehicle and Gannon's body all the way to Florida. Well, she drove the vehicle, I think, to South Carolina, the moving truck, but she drove Gannon all the way to Florida, to the pan. So it was just interesting
I'm
that
going to
he
just put
saw
a
it.
little bit of it on so people get a feel of it.
Okay.
I don't know what this is. Is this live proceedings here, what I'm showing?
Yes, they're live right now, Alan.
Is there any
You said you were
or is it
afraid to
just
do it
like
earlier. You don't even know what's up.
I can't see what you
it's 3
click on
hours
it.
long?
See, and this is the kind of stuff that gets you into trouble, Alan. You don't bother checking things. You just throw it up on the fucking, throw it up on the screen without even knowing what it is. This is why your Google search history became very evident to everybody, you fucking pervy fraud. Might I suggest maybe you should, I know you're lazy, you're an unscrupulous, filthy, dirty, lazy slob, but in the long run, it really is actually beneficial to take a couple extra seconds to make sure that what you're doing is what you want to do, or what you think something is actually what it is. Because in the long run, it saves you making yet again another giant jackass of yourself. But I know you don't like to take any type of advice of any kind because you know everything and you're always right. And when you don't check into everything, it just gives us absolutely more fuel to add to our fire in calling you out. So do what you want, but you know, you don't know everything. You're wrong all the time. And it's pretty fucking comical. And it makes you a laughing stock with your superiority air of the attitude that you have, that you never say or do anything wrong. It actually makes you look ridiculous, and we laugh at you. So carry on.
What's the title? Oh, I'm sure there's okay, so this is
3 hours
so
of
remember
it.
okay, so remember that report remember that interview she did?
Excuse me, that was January 27th. Okay.
Yes.
January
Yeah,
27th.
terrible.
I think that's this. I think at the end of this stream, towards the end, is when Spencer Wilson comes on, and he's the reporter who interviewed her.
People's Exhibit 222.
So where is she here then in this court? Can you see her?
Yeah, so look at the
What are
top.
we looking at?
She is in the back at the top.
Yeah, People's Exhibit.
Can you see?
Can you really not even look at a fucking video yourself and figure out where somebody is? You have to have somebody actually look for you and do your viewing? Are you for fucking real? Really, Ellen? I know you're fucking lazy, but you can't even. Oh my God. He seriously just asked. Fuck. I don't know why he surprises me at times. How have you made it through life? How have you made it through life like this? I don't understand. You can't do a single fucking thing for yourself. Laziest fucking person I've ever met in my entire life.
The top frame, the top window.
Two clips on this.
Yeah.
Let me see. You see her? She's back there. Yeah, she's wearing the pink sweater.
Leaving for the airport.
Yeah,
in the corner.
And the second clip was when she had had Harley move her Jetta, and they kind of were just repositioning vehicles in the driveway.
No, this lady is one of the detectives. Spencer is like all the way at the end.
What do we see in People's Exhibit 222?
So now we're looking at a mock-up of the bedroom.
And is that what it looked like?
That's what it looks like. Hold on, let me zoom in.
And did you do anything to look through this?
No, that's the laundry room.
Anybody, Detective John
I think.
Was it? Okay.
Or the storage room. There was like a storage room in between and a laundry room, and yeah. But at the very, very end. Let me see. That's another detective. See, this is another thing they did, AD, and you're going to love this. There was about 11 billion Cellbrite dumps done, okay? They were Cellbriting everything. The phones, the computers, all the things, right? Do you know not? We have not yet seen one bit of evidence from those Cellbrite dumps. They haven't displayed any of it. Any of it. Nothing from the cell phones. None of it. No, none of it. I don't know. I'm baffled by it too. The only thing that I can think of is because they had the witness who I know that sometimes they'll have one witness who does the Cellbrite dump, right? And then they'll have the witness who actually analyzes the dump, right? Well, they had that witness on, but he didn't testify to anything. So what I think might have happened is that, you know how sometimes before the trial, always before the trial, the defense and the state go through the evidence, and there are certain pieces of evidence that they both agree on. And so there's no reason to they admit it as evidence, but they don't really talk about it during the trial, but it's available for the jury. I think that's what they did here. I think that's where all the cell phone data.
They don't think it's necessary. They don't think it's necessary.
Right. Now, this is Spencer, and his testimony is rather, I liked it. I thought it was really good. So if you want to listen to that, I'll be quiet for you.
Okay. So we've got on the screen, guys, this is the woman and the reporter. He was suspicious of her, and she had her back to the camera. I don't know if you can watch it.
Anything with the case, I would more so be willing to talk about how the community needs to have faith and continue to work against false accusations, like the things that I've said that I've heard from the community. I haven't been there to help, but there's lots of reasons behind that.
Reasons like death threats, right?
Right. Death threats are one of them. My family's getting lots of death threats. We counted over 20 some death threats already. Two, my husband's ex-wife is living in our home, and of course I'm not coming home to do these things and to help with the family when I was kind of like told like and then many other.
Did I drop? Am I going to drop again? Hey, Chancey, how are you? I'm not sure if I'm still here. You can hear me. I'm going to go ahead a little bit forward. I didn't realize we were so fucking far behind, but I guess with me and my intermittent wireless issues. So I'm going to just bump it up ahead a little bit he's just playing the video anyway. In case you're wondering, Alan, Letitia Stock is still there. She's just got her head down. So she didn't. Just well, I still here. Emerald Kimmy's in the house. Oh no, that's right. I went ahead. Every time I see the buffer circle, I'm like, oh my God, did I drop? I'll be glad when this seasonal intermittent issue is over. Poor Al and everybody's picking on me. I think I'll go eat worms. Maybe you should.
Witness, and in the course of telling this story, I told over. So then her body became evidence for a woman to get a essay exam. Okay, but what they can require is a suspect exam. And that is when they take you and they scrape up underneath your fingernails and they clip them. And there's an interview that they do. And they asked her if she wanted to go to the hospital to have this done. And she didn't want to go. I don't want to be walked in by the police. I don't want to, it's going to be too embarrassing, blah, 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 blah. Right. So they said, well, you know, you can go to the bathroom, but you can't, because that's evidence, and you can't flush the toilet and all this, this, that, and the other, right? So then they want her phone. And she's like, no, you can't have my
So, what makes this whole thing even actually funnier, but also more ridiculous, we know how he always has internet issues. So, I'm not sure at times if it's me having problems or it's him having problems, but it's just adding to the comedy gold at any rate, anyway. So, there we go. He's got his arms folded again. I'm going to have a pout because everybody's picking on me today. Well, it's not just today. It's just extra fun today because there's a bunch of us doing it.
Right? And she's screaming that she can't breathe. Well, let's be real here. Okay. I don't know very many people who can scream at other people when they can't breathe or argue with anybody when they're not breathing. All right. So she creates this huge kerfuffle, right? And the EMTs show up, and all of a sudden she can't remember her birthday and all this, that, and the other. And they end up taking her to the dadgum hospital anyway. Only this time it's even more of a hullabaloo because now she's being brought by ambulance on a dadgum stretcher. So the irony of it all. Okay. Then she dips. She has the suspect exam done. They're getting ready to maybe do the sane exam, right? And she calls her daughter, and her daughter and her daughter's friend come and pick her up, and she just bounces. Yeah, that's Leticia.
Well, I think she's quite intelligent in a lot of ways. That she thinks on her feet, doesn't she? She's very good at making up stories as she speaks.
So, did you guys just catch that? He thinks that Leticia is very intelligent, but this is also Chris Watts' biggest fangirl. So that kind of explains that. Leave it to Alan to big up and give kudos and prop up a fucking murderer yet again. Are you still getting your letters from Chris Watts? Oh, right. Chris Watts doesn't write women. Idiot.
Yes. She literally.
For 4 hours. Like 5 minutes. Oh my God. How do you do it?
I need.
She's not giving. Is she going to give evidence herself? Is she going to take the stand?
I don't think so.
No.
Not right now. At this point, I will say I don't think that she will take the stand. But it's always possible she has that right.
I mean, the way she turns her story around, oh, that didn't work. So I'll say somebody essayed me. Oh, that didn't work. Somebody was knocking on the door and somebody took him and he's gone. It's like endless. She's got endless stories, right?
Endless.
Just like you do, Alan.
If one doesn't work, she has another story ready to go.
Right. That whole interrogation video, you guys, is 4 hours long. Okay. She lies consistently for 4 hours. But the interesting thing about Leticia is there is one element to her story, no matter how many other details change. And that is this candle. Okay, that Gannon knocked over the candle.
Yeah, the candle was the problem. It ruined the silver. Yeah.
Right. But I don't think that, okay, this is what I think. I think the candle is significant in some way, but I don't believe Leticia's story because there isn't, according to Leticia, and she accidentally recorded this video. It's a sad video. It is probably well, it's not the last time Gannon is seen, but it is one of the last times his voice is heard, I think.
His hurt and stuff, his blood and that. I remember him.
It's awful. It's awful. But what I find interesting about that video is that, first of all, she never shows Gannon. Okay. Second of all, Gannon has a mixture of emotions from what, to me, this is just my opinion, and I'm not qualified to treat or diagnose this, just my opinion. To me, that child sounds like he's confused, like he's being gaslit, number one. That's the confusion. But he also sounds like he is in pain. And they showed the candle. So the candle was not used on Gannon in any, like, I've always thought she hit him with that candle. That's what I thought, because it's glass. That's what I thought she did.
Look at the look of fucking disdain on his face. That poor little lad. I do want to say seriously, that was awful, that whatever video. And as Jen Lau did say, no, you never do see him, but you can hear him. That poor little lad, defenseless lad that did not deserve any of that. And here we have Alan getting fucking excited, and it's not inappropriate smirking, it's inappropriate laughing, because he happens to know one or remembers one element about that case. Again, Alan, you have no self-awareness. You can't do one thing at once, let alone 55 other fucking things. You know, good thing you have Jen Lau on to take care of all your stream. Maybe you're upset because I certainly don't see any super chat comments popping up. Oh, that's all he does. Oops. Well, yeah, that's why, because he lies all the time. That's why everything changes. You guys know my favorite Judge Judy motto. You don't need to have a good memory to tell the truth. You don't need to have a good memory to tell the truth. Too bad you never instilled that, Alan. You probably would have made yourself a lot more, credible. But I've said this before, if you had applied honest, genuine work at not pretending, but to actually really do true crime, all the amount of effort you put into your scamming, grifting, coming up with your fucking cons and your bullshit. Oh my God, they're trying to silence me. I can only show you in Patreon. Join Patreon now. 2 months from the end of the month, so they get double dipped. If you put as much effort into a genuine channel, you would have actually flourished and flourished way beyond what you think you're flourishing at. So there's a little bit of hindsight, or I guess hindsight it would be for you. Hope that makes you feel good, Alan. You're a failure at everything you do.
But it's all the way intact. So the candle is important, but I will say this. When they did the carpeting, the wax is on top of blood.
Right.
So it,
The candle, yes, she mentions it all the time, doesn't she?
yes, no matter, even when the whole reason Eduardo was there, the candle. The reason that Gannon stayed home from school today, Monday, was the candle and his tummy hurt. Every new it doesn't matter how the story ends, it always starts with that candle. So there is something significant about that candle. Now, personally, I did have a fleeting thought that, because based on her Google searches, like she was trying to say, well, a humidifier, get rid of a smoke smell, blah, blah, blah. I actually think that she was trying to start a fire with the candle and was unsuccessful, because if you knock a candle that's in a glass container over, what happens? If you've let it go for a long time, right, the wax is melted, so it's liquid. So it gets knocked over and it snuffs out the flame.
Yeah.
You can't really start a fire that way. So I think that's what happened. That's one of the theories that I'm trying to figure out, because the house didn't smell like smoke at all. Not even a little bit.
Why do you think she decided to kill the poor lad? Do you know what? Frustration over a period of time, or?
I think that I think Gannon was her target because she and Landon were friends when Landon and Al Stalk were married. He left Landon for Leticia. And one of the things that Al testified to was that Leticia constantly needed to be reassured that she was better than Landon. I think I would be very, very interested to understand the dynamic in those two women's friendship. I think Landon regarded Leticia as a friend initially. Obviously, the friendship door closes when you steal your friend's man. Like that's pretty much a violation of girl code and whatnot. So after that, they weren't friends. But I think I think Landon regarded her as a friend, but I think Letitia was envious of Landon from the jump. She's like a frenemy. She never actually liked her. And I think that Gannon really loved and adored his mom. And I think that it bothered, I think she went at Gannon because I don't think she was trying to hurt Al. I think she was trying to hurt Landon. That's why I think she went at Gannon. Why she snapped that specific day, I don't know. Because it's so hard to get a read on her because she's such a lying liar mouth who tells lies.
Yeah.
You know?
She was after him for long periods of time, right? Years or something.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. So she helped like in court for, I guess, a cousin of them, because in the beginning of Al and Leticia's relationship, they kind of, did what they wanted. They were kind of footloose and fancy free, I guess. Not for very long, though. But she's just, something is very, very wrong with her, but not in a way she eats 3 hots and a cot. That's prison. Ideal store like Annabelle, like a glass box with thing on it. You know what I mean? That's what she should.
Well, he's taking it like in a way.
Yeah. I think that I don't think that what happened to Gannon was a one-time incident. What I personally think is that Gannon was her target for a very, very long time. And on that day it escalated. But I do think that she was cruel to Gannon for a long time before that day.
Yeah.
I do. And it breaks my heart.
Well, that's where we are. So it's going to be.
And there's Alan with his profound follow-up. Yeah. So just as I was stopping it there. So that's where we're at. Sounds like he's cutting her off now. Let's see. As I said, he's been looking the whole time while we've been watching him while I've been bouncing up and down like a yo-yo. For those that may be watching who have never seen me before, I don't usually fall off my stream like this. It's just a time of the year thing that'll last for about another week. But I told you, like, he's looked so irritated, annoyed, agitated, and fucking furious the whole stream. He's just dying to get off, I think. Mr. Pissy Pants is cranky.
Be a long way off the verdict then, you think? Quite a few weeks.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Will you come back and fill us in a few weeks' time? I know it's going.
Of course, I will. You know that I will come on your panel anytime you invite me, AJ. I love it over here. You know that.
You're a great support of the channel as well. I appreciate it.
I do have one little bone to pick with you, though, and I've been dying to say this for quite some time. So I watched your birthday stream, and when it came to the time for me and Dr. B's video, you said, I had no idea Jen Lou was so pretty, which isn't a negative thing to say, but the level of shock in your voice was about that I would be pretty. I was like, what is AD picturing?
Well, I see you as a comedian, though. I see you as like.
Does that make you see her avatar any better when you stick your big fat horse nostrils flaring into your camera lens, Alan? Do you see it any bigger or any better? Fucking Christ almighty. It scares the hell out of us. Stop doing that.
I don't know how to explain you. That's your actual picture there on the screen, right?
It is. That's me.
You're very pretty. I mean, I can't.
Thank you.
But seeing you on normally I got to say nice hair, but I genuinely think you're very attractive. And I don't, in my mind, before I saw your picture, I don't know what I pictured. It wasn't what I've seen.
Which is funny because I've sent you a picture of me before. You did something on Juju Island, like a way back, and I showed you a picture of me as like a angsty teenager, and then I sent you a picture of me like a current picture. But the level of shock in your voice was just honestly, it didn't really make me mad. I just thought it was real. I actually thought it was really cute, and I told Dr. B, look how shocked he is.
I forgot about your pictures, and I just saw this. Well, I can't even say what I'm going to say. I prefer people from a certain area of the world.
I see. Okay.
I like. No, I say nothing. I say nothing other than I was surprised to see the real you. I was.
It was just the shock in your voice was so cute. I was like, does he think I look like that monkey drinking the Capri Sun? Is that what he's picturing?
Personality I'm seeing, isn't it? The monkey,
I still use the monkey. Like everybody knows me that way, so I still use it. But yeah.
I missed that monkey.
You keeping up with the Vallow trial?
Yeah, do you want to have a quick go at that then? Again, I don't know how many people in chat know anything about the Vallow trial. I've got the full audio graphic testimonies. Do we want to hear a little bit of that first, and then you get into it? Do you want to give some background first?
I mean, I can do whatever. It's your show. I'm your guest. You tell me.
I know, but I just want the best way. Give us. I mean, like for you people watching, this is a terrible doomsday cult, right? A real cult where they think they're going to go and be somewhere, be the only survivors on Earth, right? That's the beginning of it, wasn't it?
Yes. It's the 100,000 that are. So go around. $999 or 98. That's to collect.
Yeah.
And Chad would rate them on a scale of light to dark. The darker you are, obviously, they call it. They don't call it possessed, but they say that you have a dark and the spirit is so strong that the only way for a person to is for them to be unalive. And it's sad.
How many people do you think they killed altogether? Because they got the brother doing a lot of it, haven't they? The brother did a lot of it, right? But didn't it start when they killed his sister, like in the early days?
There's some backstory there, but it's a kind of convoluted, and I haven't really gotten all the way through it yet. But I'll say this: the main one that they started with is Charles Vallow, which was Lori's husband.
I'm just gonna pause it for a minute. I feel like I'm gonna drop again, guys. So I'm just going to pause it for a second. Well, it's true. His forehead could definitely fill in at a drive-in. You could show a fucking movie on it. By the way, Alan, when you pull your hair back like that, it makes you look even more bald. Just saying. Aren't men supposed to like do the wraparound in the front so they don't look as bald? I'm telling you, he's lost at least half a head of hair since I've started watching him. He was never this even back in 2019. That is what happens to you when you're a shitty person. Your body will eat itself from inside out because you're a horrible human being.
Yeah, he was trying to help us. My wife's busy, and she's dangerous and stuff. And no one believed him, did they?
No, they didn't. And so then, after Charles was unalived by Alex, and what happened is Alex shot him because there was allegedly an altercation, and so the police investigated and they ruled it self-defense. So that went, nobody did anything about that. But then
the manufactured thing, they actually planned to kill him, didn't they? And that's what.
Oh yes, they did, and there's the evidence came out about that today. And then it was Tammy Daybell, who is Chad Daybell's husband, and she it's come out now that she actually died of asphyxiation. They exhumed her body. It's so sad. And then after Tammy, Charles and Lori got married, and shortly after they get married, or before they get, I guess right before they got married, Tylee goes missing, and then her younger brother, her autistic younger brother, JJ Vallow, goes missing. And Larry Charles' sister has been well back on him, and he course Day in Hawaii. Chad and Lori ends up getting arrested. Chad goes back to Idaho. On June 9th, the crime scene investigators come out to Chad Daybell's property.
All right. I don't even know why I dropped. Actually, didn't lose internet, but all right. I'm going to share it one more time. Obviously, it's not in the cards to be able to continue doing this. I'm sure you guys are getting annoyed as much as I am as well. But I'm gonna try streaming them one more time, and then if I drop, I'll come back and then I'll say goodnight. But I mean, it's still been fun. That is the most information, wealth of information I have ever taken in on Alan's streams tonight with her on there is the most I've ever learned in over the almost 4 years that I've been calling him out. Have her on more often. She should have you on her panel. I don't blame her though. There's probably a reason why she doesn't. And I'm losing my voice too.
And it's
But
really a sad story.
Got married, right? They got married and.
Oh yeah, they got married.
Yeah. This is like evil on a grand scale. These two cases, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's.
I wasn't talking about your forehead, Jen. I just saw you were in the chat. That's hilarious. I just said when I said it wasn't to butter you up. I had no idea you were in the chat. I honestly was talking about Alan. You could do a double feature on that forehead of his. But it's true. Thank you. As I said earlier, I have nothing against you or a problem with you at all. I don't know you. It just happens that you're next to the pervy fraud, so you kind of get dragged into it, but you're more than welcome to come here anytime. But I've never said anything bad about you other than that you have your friend, the fake ass quack, but nothing about you directly, and I never would, but I certainly wasn't insulting your forehead. I didn't even know. That's hilarious. And I'm shocked. I've seen photos of your avatar before, but never one that makes you look like Letitia. Is that you in that avatar picture? Well, I guess it is because Alan just about fucking creamed his pants saying that. Never mind. I'm going to go back to listening. You're in my chat with me listening to you with Alan watching me. See, this is how this YouTube world works. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
And you know who else is on trial right now is the West Boys, the parents of the West Boys. They're on trial.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like the trifecta of evil.
So you guys in America, it's like a conveyor belt of horror.
Well, remember we had the vid, and everything was shut down. So because all these cases occurred around that time. So they're just now getting to court.
Right. So what do you think is going to happen in the Daybell ballot? Are they not going to get a death penalty? Are they? No such thing, right?
Well, Idaho does have the death penalty. However, they've taken it off the table for Lori. It is still very much on the table for Chad, but they've taken it off the table for Lori.
Right.
They're going to find her guilty.
They're still friends, these two. Are they not speaking? Do you know are they dobbing each other in, or are they fighting each other, or are they like together?
No, this is what I think is really going on. So I think from the very, very beginning, Chad and Lori wanted their trials severed. Okay. And there was a series of circumstances that eventually led to their trials being severed. It started, Lori never waived her right to a speedy trial. Okay. And that is something that in the United States is very, very serious. And if the person does not waive their right to a speedy trial, they have to be tried within a certain amount of time. And Chad had waived his right. So that was their first play to get the trials separated. Okay. Then it's come out that, and this came out a few months ago before they were actually in one of the pretrial hearings. So poor little sweet JJ had duct tape he was wrapped in plastic, and it was a very elaborate way that they buried JJ. But on this duct tape, there is a hair. Nobody knows, because it hasn't been tested yet, but nobody knows whose hair it is. Okay. And nobody knows whether it is inculpatory, meaning it points to guilt, or exculpatory, which points to innocence, right? Well, Chad's lawyers, and rightfully so, they want it tested. Okay. But the state lab is backed up. So they're going to analyze it. Wait a minute, that happened from my everything was where they end up severing their trials. But this is a huge roll of the dice because it's in Lori's trial. First place is because Alex Cox, Lori Vallow's brother, his phone pinged, and so
Jen, can you please ask Alan to stop trying to silence me, damn it? All right, what I'm going to do, as I said, it's starting to get really annoying to me. Not you, Jen Lau, my internet, my wireless. So I can feel my voice is almost gone. Anyway, I think we had more than enough fun this evening. Bless your little heart for stopping by. I'm sure he probably won't have you back on for a little while as your punishment. But no, seriously, thank you guys for joining me. Unfortunately, it's not in the cards to continue on, but as I said, I learned quite a bit, and that's the most factual information I've ever heard on Alan's channel in the entire 4 or 5 years in this hour and a half. So give me 1 second. She was pretty. She's not pretty anymore. Oh, sorry, Jen. He's going to know now, I guess. Sorry about that. I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus. Hey, Foxy in the Boxy. Yeah, I can feel my voice is pretty much going to kick out here any second now. So I will take the fun that we had and say that was enough. Enjoy it instead of trying to go for more and getting even more frustrated. But it was definitely a blast. I'm one last time.
Jenetic code streaming me live against YouTube rules.
That's illegal.
Okay.
And now she's streaming us, streaming you, probably noting your names to come and pester you tomorrow. This has to stop. Type in genetic code now. She's streaming me. It's against YouTube rules.
Stop! That's illegal.
It's illegal, damn it. Everything he doesn't like is illegal. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much all for joining me, and especially my unexpected guest in chat, Jen Lau. I hope you all have a good weekend, and I will be back once my voice comes back and I have it out with my internet. But I do appreciate y'all coming by, considering once again it was sort of a last-minute impromptu. But have a great weekend. Take care, everybody. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.